is about how to generate the instances at the sheet level in manual way, and we saw all the flow we have to do while working with test case design. So today we'll see about how to generate the instances at the sheet level in automatic way.
Okay.
And deleting this already created one. So I've just clicked on the test sheet, and we are going to use this option under complete instances. We have all the options which are available to generate the instances automatically. So the first option is all combination. If I'm using all combination method, uh, Tosca will generate all the possible um, combinations it can create out of this email and password instances. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So for email attribute, we have two instances, and for password, I have two instances. If I am generating the all combination, Tosca will create all the possible combinations it can make with all the instances from both attributes, which means it will combine with each instances from the password attribute, and the second instance from the email will combine with all the instances from password. Mm, okay, I'll create one more instance also. Toggling the character to invalid. Okay. So we have three instances in email attribute, and we have two instances in password. So each instance from email attribute will combine with each instance from the password, and it will make the combination. It will make one combination. Now I'm generating the all combination. So the count of combination that is going to generate will be multiplication of instances from each attributes. So in our case, we have two attributes, and first attribute has three instances, and second attribute has two. So multiplication of both is 6. 3 into 2, 6. The combinations that will be generating will be 6 combinations. So I'm just selecting all combinations. You can see 6 instances got generated, 6 combinations. So if you see all the instances from um, email attribute as combined with each instance from password. So this is all combination method, and basically we would choose the method here, all combination orthogonal or pairwise or linear expansion based on the project we are working in, or based on the requirement of the application that we are working in. So if we use all combination, this all combination will generate, sometimes it will generate the instance that we will not be, that we don't need to test in our in the application. For example, if you take this one, straight through instance means it's also the valid one. And if you take this login to instance, it has also the both valid values. So here also email valid and password valid. Here also email valid and password valid. So in some way, it's generating some instance that it's like the while executing the test case, it will be the extra thing. So based on the project you are working, you can choose the type of uh, combination, type of the complete instance you can use. So all combinations would generate the combination sometimes that we don't need to test in our application. And then orthogonal. Orthogonal means uh, it will try to use all the instances under the attributes from the test sheet at least once. So we have email and password attributes, and it will and email as the maximum number of instances, three, and it will try to use all the three uh, instances at least once. So it will try to create the combination with all the instances used at least once. If I'm generating orthogonal instances, the count will be 3. So it will be equal to the maximum number of instances present under the attribute. So we have three is the maximum number of instances present in the attribute under login test sheet. So the combinations will be 3. And I'm, I'm selecting orthogonal. So 3 combinations generated. So all the instances have been used once. And from this password attribute, as as it has two values, it has chosen one by one, like 1 to 1, like that. Orthogonally, it has selected the value for that. And the next option is pairwise. So pairwise means it will take two um, two attributes that has maximum number of instances under the test sheet, and it will do all combination between those two attributes, and it will select values from other attributes orthogonally. For example, I'm changing this validation to the business relevant of validation to result, sorry, valid for this purpose. It is result. So normally in the automatic way of generating the instances, it will consider only business relevant attributes. So tester and validation are business relevant attributes. It will not take them into account. We have to manually select the values. So in order to show you how the pairwise will be working, for now I'm just changing the business relevant to valid. Sorry, yes, business relevant. So if I'm generating the instances, it will consider this validation attribute also. So we have three attributes totally, business relevant attributes. And okay, I'll add one more instance under validation, for example. So in this case, email attribute and validation attribute have more number of instances, 3 and 3. So if I'm generating pairwise, it will do the combination, all combination between these two, and it will take the value from password attribute one orthogonally, which means one by one it will take the value. So that count of the instances that will be generating will be multiplication of instances the the from the two attributes that are going to be uh, done in the all combination method. So email and validation has maximum number of instances. So all combinations will be done between these two. So the multiplication of instances from email and the instances from validation, which means 3 into 3, 9 instances will get generated out of this pairwise combination. So you can see totally 6 instances got generated. Email, if you take email and validation, each instance from the email would have combined with the each instance from validation. So first one, rubyaragon at gmail.com, as combined with credential provided no customer account, and here with the validation. And if we take YT, this one will would have combined with the each instance from validation attribute. So here no customer account. So in this way pairwise will work, and from password it would have taken the value orthogonal one by one. First one, second one, first one, second one, first. So in this way it will take the value. So comparing to all combination method, this orthogonal method will generate less number of instances, but the thing is it would not cover the complete scenario that we would be needing to test in our application. So that is one disadvantage in orthogonal method. And pairwise method also we would not be sure about what, as it is based on the number of the count of instances, we will not be sure about what combination it will generate. And finally, linear expansion method. So normally we would go with linear expansion method if we are generating automatic way of generating instances automatic using automatic way. So I'm generating the instances using linear expansion now. Okay, I'll get that. Okay, I'm getting the error. It's saying a straight through instance cannot be generated because of the following. So the thing is, we should have one straight through instance in each attribute in order to perform this linear expansion combination. So here in validation attribute we don't have any straight through, so I'm getting the error. Anyway, I'm going to change. Okay, I'll change it back to result one. I don't need that. Okay, email and password as one straight through instance in them. I'm generating the linear expansion. Okay. So it has generated 4 instances. It will be based on like this linear expansion will generate one instance with all straight through instances. So we can directly use this instance straight through for our smoke testing which we will be where we will be doing the eye level testing, because straight through elements instances means they will be used for they will be using for they will be used for this eye level testing. So we can directly use this uh, instance for sanity testing. And next, it will be generating the instances. It will take the straight through instance from one attribute, and it will combine with the non straight through instance from other attribute. So it has taken one straight through instance from email ID, and it has combined with the non straight through instance from password. And in the same way, from the straight through instance from password as combined with the non straight through instance from um, email attribute. So in this way, the one instance will be all straight through instances. Other instances will be one straight through instance and one non straight through instance. It will be it will generate the combination in that way. So normally it would cover the scenario that we will be testing in our application. So comparing to other methods, we can we can go with this one. So any question from this fourth method or doubts? Okay, so last in last session we saw about how to do the manual thing, right? So after generating instances, the other steps will be same like what we have done in. So we will be converting the test case to template, and we will be linking the test sheet to template, and will link the attributes to test step value, and then we'll generate the instances here. So we have generated the instances using linear expansion. So if we as we made some changes there, we have to reinstantiate this um, template instance. So we will get, so if you are making any change in the template or TCD or in the test sheet, we have to, in order to replicate that in the template instance which we will be executing in order to get the result, we have to reinstantiate them. So if you click on that, you'll get the option reinstantiate. Three test cases could not be. Okay. As we have changed the instances at test sheet level, we have to delete them as the instances are different. We have to delete the previous thing. And you can see after reinstantiating for these four combinations, straight through YTFG, that one invalid, and for the fourth one we are the test cases got generated here. So if you are making any change in template or test sheet, we have to make sure to reinstantiate the template instance. So the changes will be replicating here. Um, so this is the basic thing we will be doing with TCD. And finally, so here, yeah, two more things we have to know here in TCD are class and condition. So first I'll tell you about class. So class is the object that will help us to reuse the attributes from the test sheet. So if I want to reuse any attribute from this test sheet to any other test sheet, I can use the object class. So we'll see that how can we create them and all. There are four different ways to create the class in our test sheet. So the first way is to manually create that. So you just right click on the test sheet and you'll get in the last option extract. Sorry, not that one. Okay, right click on the folder and this option create class. So this is manual way of creating class. We have created the class thing. So under that we can create the attribute that we want to use in different reusing different test sheets. For example, attribute one, and under that instance instance. In this way we have to manually create, and if you want to reuse in different test sheet, so I'm creating another test sheet. You just drag and drop this class to this test sheet. It will be added to that attribute one here. So this will be called as reference class, and this is class. Okay, this is one method, and another method is if I am dragging and dropping any attribute over the folder, it will be converted into class. So I'm just dragging and dropping the email attribute to folder. It's asking create class from attribute or create structure from attribute. So we are creating class from attribute. Yeah, if you want to reuse the attribute, so you have a number of test sheets in your TCD, and some of the attributes are being reused in multiple test sheets. So that time, instead of copying and pasting, if we are using this class, if I want to make some change, some change, I can change it from one place, right? It will be replicated in all the other test sheets. So that is the purpose of class, in order to reuse the attributes. So there are four different ways. One is manual way we saw, and this is another way, dragging and dropping the attribute to folder that will be generated. The class will be generated. For email, one class has been generated, and for password, another class has been generated. And we can drag and drop the created class over the test sheet wherever we want to reuse it. So it will be added over there. And if I'm making any change here, sorry, from the class or yeah, from the reference also, it will be replicating in all the test sheets. So instead of this Ruby Raghavan, I'm changing it to some other value. So if I am going to email, sorry, if I'm making some changes in instance, I'm changing it to valid at gmail.com. I've made some changes in uh, instance. If I'm going to email, so it will be replicating here the changes. So here also. So this is the purpose of class. When you need to reuse the attribute, you can use it. And third way of generating the class will be, you can press Control Z. So I want to create the class for all the attributes that are present within this test sheet. So that time, just right click on the test sheet and select the option extract class. So the class has been generated for all the attributes that are present within the test sheet. So we can reuse it in another test sheet if we want. So this is third method. And finally, we can create the class from module. So have this login and I want to create a class out of this module. So for that, we have to drag and drop the module over the folder, or the any folder in the test case design. So the class will be generated. The class will be named after the name of the module and each module attribute. So these are the module attributes under the module. This each module attribute will be converted into attribute here. So module attribute email has been converted into email attribute and email one, password one. So all this has got generated. All the module attributes will be converted into attributes here. And under instances, for each for each module there will be some value range. By default, it will be given by um, Tosca, and if you want to make any change also, we can change here value range by giving some semicolon. We can enter our own data if you want. So these are the value range. These value ranges will be converted into instances here in um, here in class. So the module attributes will be converted into attributes, and the values that are present under the value range will be converted into instances for the respective attributes. So this is the fourth way of generating class. Any questions? Shall we move to next topic? Okay, first I'll delete all this. Okay, I'm clicking resolve class reference. Okay, we have the test sheet for login. So the condition, okay, I'll take other test sheet login. Okay, I'll take this test sheet. Okay, because I have to make some changes. Uh, it is in the previous day. This one, 1 minute. Mm, mm, mm. Okay, fine. Okay, I'll take this one. Okay, this test sheet. Copy. And I'm going to instantiate once again with the recent test sheet. I'm going to link this test sheet to the template first. Okay. I've linked that, and I guess other changes. Excel validation. So here it is verification. So we have to link that again. And I'm removing the previous one. And for login details, email. Username and password. Okay, as I change the test sheet, I link the test sheet to the template once again, and I link the attributes with the test type value. And I'm going to instantiate this. Okay, we got um, four test cases. Okay. So the scenario is I have one more test step here in login, which is logging out. After login, I want to log out. I want to add the test step log out. So I'm adding the test step of logging out. Log out. So after successful login, I want to do the test step logout. But here in this scenario, all the test cases that got generated, only for the valid one we will be able to perform the logout action. For the invalid one, because we will be getting the validation for those invalid uh, credentials, we will not be able to log in successfully. So if I am not logged in, I cannot click on the logout button. I cannot perform the logout. So I want to do that action only for the valid one, only for the straight through. Others are invalid, I guess. Yeah, other three instances are invalid one. We will be getting the respective um, validations. So I want to perform logout for the first test instance, and for others, I don't want to perform the logout. So in this time, in order to restrict the action for other test cases, we can use the condition thing. So to do the condition is again a column that we can add in the test case section. So I'm right clicking on the column header and I'm selecting column chooser. So from this list we have the condition thing. So double click on the condition to add that to our test case. So I'm removing this repetition condition. So for this logout action, I want to give some condition, which is if it is only valid password and valid email ID, that time I want to perform this action. So for other values, for other invalid email or invalid password, I don't want to perform this logout. So this is the condition I want to give here. So we can give the condition here by okay. So for the value Ruby Ragon, this is the valid one. So for this one, I want to perform the action. So I can add this value in the condition. Just drag and drop. And this for this value and from for other two values are invalid. So for that I don't need the I don't need to execute the log. And from password, this one is the valid one, and for other one is the invalid one. So I'm dragging a so after dragging and dropping, the each attributes would be added with the condition or. But by default, it would be added with the or condition. But in our case, it should be and. The username also should be valid and password also should be valid. So instead of or, I'm changing it to and condition. So both conditions should be satisfied in order to perform the logout action. So we have added the condition here. As we changed something in template, I'm going to reinstantiate that. Okay, it got reinstantiated. So if we go to the test cases here, you can see account and logout. The logout thing has been added to the straight through. For other things, the value will be empty. The value will be empty. So we can give this condition at test step value level or test step level based on the requirement. So here we have only one test step here. If I have added the condition at test step value level, if I'm adding this condition in test step level, and I'm reinstantiating. Okay, I reinstantiated. So if you go to straight through, the test step will be there. And if we are going to add the test step, even the test step will not be present because the condition is not satisfied. So even the test step will not come here. So we can add the test condition at test step value level or test step. So if I have some other value which is here in li element, and which is common to all the test cases, so that time I can add this condition only to this test step value level. So based on the requirement, we can add the condition at test step value level or test step level. Any question regarding the condition?
No.
Okay. Okay, then fine. So all the concepts which are related to TCD, I guess we are done. Mm, okay. Uh, okay, I'll tell you this option: clear values and fill empty values. I didn't. Okay. Okay. Normally, what we would do, we would select the value from here. Using this fill empty values, we can fill the values first. So there will be two options under fill empty values: specific and orthogonal. So if I'm selecting specific, it will ask give me all the options, all the instances that I have under password, and I can select any one, and that value will be applied to all the instances at test sheet level. And another option is orthogonal. Fill empty values. So orthogonally it has selected the values, which means one by one it will fill the value. The credential is first, no customer, then validation. And after three value instances are filled up, it has started from the first one, the credential thing. So orthogonally, it will fill the values in the empty cell. So this is the option, fill empty values. So clear values means, so it will clear the filled values if you want to clear. Yeah, so we are done with the test case design section.